Good.
We are. So we're live? We're live. Ish, maybe.
It's recording.
Okay, it's recording. So we're going to be starting to make a new set of surcoats since my old surcoats have seen better days, and most of them are not fitted for me with the current configuration of the armor I wear for my various combat sport games. This is one of the better ones we have. This was done with embroidery. It's pretty much a Henry V style. It's got the Plantagenet lions and the fleur-de-lis of France, and it's a nice English 100 Years' War royal themed. It's velvet or faux velvet. I think it's faux velvet. I don't think it's real velvet, but it's one of the better ones I ever had. We're going to use that and a few others as the basis for the pattern, but at that time I was a little bit leaner and wasn't wearing a mail shirt or the same under foundation garments, gambesons, ecatons, arming doublets that I'm wearing now. So we're going to update them, and we're going to go to silk based off of some videos I've seen from a wonderful Scandinavian reenactor whose last name I won't begin to try to pronounce, but it's Olum, and he does King Haakon VI of Norway and some of his reenactments, and I've been following his page, and check him out if you can. I'll see if I can figure out how to leave a link. I'm still learning how to use YouTube. So we're going to pop on my riveted mail shirt that I got from Munition Grade Arms at Penzic last year. And I've tried to tailor the sleeves. I'm still working on that. There is a reason I hate wearing mail.
There we go. Just cut up under your sleeve.
To me, it feels like wearing a waterbed. When I stop moving, it doesn't. And even in this quite comfortable weight one, it always wants to bag up. And it always wants to keep moving. I probably need to get one custom fitted for me, but I am not actually a medieval noble. I am a working class, working poor American who can't afford a several $1,000s custom. Oh, she's going to hang me, apparently.
No, I'm not. Humor me in a minute.
I will humor you in a minute. Okay,
What are we doing
press
the
play.
pattern?
Or no, get the shoulders on. Get the shoulders on. Because the points are going to be underneath there, and once everything else is on, you won't be able to get to them. We're going to do pretty much the whole upper body minus helmet to fit this, just to make sure everything fits and moves. So you're getting to see a little bit of how my current configuration that I'm wearing for most of my combat games is set up. Now this gambeson is a Zupparello that we sell at revivalmilitary.us. If I recall correctly, Ann and Brian Price designed this off of some extant pieces, and it got so popular that it got picked up by a bunch of other companies, and they have made various versions of it. Got a Grand Assiette gusset under the sleeve so I can raise my arm. This is the other thing I hate about wearing mail, is I can't put my arms on by myself. But if I were actually facing sharp swords, yes, I am definitely wearing the mail. Even when I'm facing dull metal swords, I want to be wearing the mail, because metal versus me, the metal wins. Let's just get them long enough to stay in place. It doesn't have to be great. Here, I can't buckle this with one hand. I physically can't. Just tuck it in. See with the nail in, because the shoulders are what we're more worried about than anything else.
Just don't want them to have this moving about.
Yep.
That's not even a hole there.
Oh, I need to put small holes in it.
You might need to.
This is kind of the thicker of the gambesons I've got.
Darn hole is.
So I'm going with that, because we can always cinch stuff down tighter. It's hard to make it bigger once it's made.
Yeah, I ain't gonna get a hole in that.
Okay.
It
Well,
goes
maybe
up.
it's because the mail's in the way. And it's sticking out. And now tuck the gamson in. Just push it in. Push it in a hole. Shove it in.
Not
Just shove it.
going further in
Wicked
it.
first.
There.
There. Now it's closed at the elbow, or it's going to flop around.
Worried about the elbow. Unless you want it to go down to your elbows.
Well, I'm kind of.
How did you? There. Okay.
The actual extant piece, Edward the Black Prince, Fiat Jupon, that he has at his tomb, is the one everybody goes off of as kind of the default. Why? Because it's one of the only extant pieces we've got left, and the shoulder strap isn't done at all.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's
I
why I
see
don't
my back.
don't generally wear this in this configuration. But I figured we would err on the thickest and put a couple of holes tighter and maybe one hole thicker. But this is
Well, remember, we're doing lacing. We're not doing buttons or anything.
This is true.
So it's hard to make thinner than it is to go thicker.
exactly. Because I actually have some that were made for a slightly different setup, and they bag up on me really bad. It looks like a baggy t-shirt, and it doesn't ride right. So we're going to try to avoid that baggy t-shirt look and have the nice crisp lines
Get in any of those.
and the quasi wasp waist. But when you're kind of built like Gimli, it doesn't really work out. So you have to fake the wasp waist quite a bit. I do not have a wasp waist. I am a square. So for the past 19 years, I've been doing a bulking phase, and I expect that in never I will do the cut phase to get the waist smaller. So, that's a joke, guys. We tell these funny little stories that are partially true. We call them jokes.
It's going underneath your
It
arm.
is. Hey, swing it around. I want that thing that Iron Man has in the first couple of Iron Man movies where he just stands there and something puts the armor on as long as he doesn't move. What I'm thinking is when that's putting it on, if he sneezes, does it just kill him? Does it drive the helmet right through the side of his head? That'd be awful.
That would hurt quite a bit. Pre-buckled, not helpful.
No. As you can see, the mail fits inside the armor. I got it fairly well tailored. I still got to work on the tailoring a little bit. I can't bend my arm 100% as far as I want in. However, I really don't need to bend my arm in as far as normal. I need to be able to extend it out and whack stuff with various implements of whatever game we're playing. We actually got the other one on. Oh, because it's not down all the way. Got to put it up on your shoulder. You get it close. Why do the van braces on the real ones have that Coke bottle flare? Did they have giant forearms? No, it's to accommodate the mail shirt. At least that's my theory. Because the mail doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the wrist. You can't close it, but you can get it down about halfway, leave a little bit of an open part, and now it fits up under the van brace. Or at least close enough. Tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it. Push, tuck it. Tuck it. You're not tucking hard enough. There we go. Okay. That's not perfect. In fact, it's not on the right spot, but I don't have to fight in this today. We just have to have it on. I can't bend my arm long far enough to scratch my ear. Help.
Push it, boy.
No.
Push it, boy.
Ow. Thank you. You just dug your nails into the back of my ear.
Being
That hurt. I'm
Screw
gonna
that
take-
elbow.
Look, just pop in here. Maybe not. No, I'm getting it. It's coming out. Oh, it's caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta work on this. Good thing. I'll
Well,
have
this
to
is why
fight.
you would have people helping you.
Yes.
Not just-
And when you actually get to fight, you actually notice this stuff instead of it sitting in a bag because you work every night. There's practice.
There.
Okay, so we're in it as far as we can get it. We're close enough for it to work. Okay. Now she's gonna hang me.
No. I wish those were about the same height.
Okay, breastplate. Actually, gorget, because it makes the breastplate ride slightly different.
Okay.
This is my gorget. I can't put this on. My arm only bends this far.
All right. Long
Yes,
side and
that's
front.
right. All the only people who put the long side in the back are SCA rapier fighters, who for some reason put it in the back. Oh, it's to protect my spine. You realize the plates in the back already do that. It's what it's for. It's literally wearing it backwards. But this one guy, I know, this one guy told you to do it that way. Now you all wear them backwards.
All right.
That's really tight with the collar underneath it.
Now it's the loosest hole.
Yep.
So.
Okay, the Turbid 14 breastplate. It's actually going on fairly easy today, the breastplate is.
Don't jinx it.
No, I mean, I don't. It normally digs into my fat.
I don't even have any buckles on.
I know, but it went on in the right spot without me having to wrestle it over the mail. I need to probably put some kind of cinchers to tighten the mail up to my upper body. There's an Italian effigy I was looking at actually today on the 14th Century Armor Facebook group, that the effigy actually shows little straps on the effigy used to tighten the mail up, at least around the upper shoulders. So there's a few other places that there's kind of phantom straps just stuck there, and that's the supposition of what those are for. But there's no other way to get that kind of spandex mail look that you see on some of the artwork than to have something running through the links or a strap somewhere tightening them up to the body. Otherwise you get the kind of metal garbage bag, metal pillowcase shape to it. So now I'm pretty much armored from the waist to the neck. I just don't have my gauntlets on. This is pretty close to my harness fetching kit. This is what I've been trying to do boo-hurt duels in. I do need something rigid on my hips. I've been borrowing body armor for my boo-hurt stuff. You may have seen the black Corazina type body armor I was in the YouTube videos earlier that we did with the duel with axes and stuff like that. That was borrowed. This is my general historical armor and harness fetching armor with a couple of different things that I'll do to make it a little more comfortable when I've got to stand around in it and talk all day. But this is what we're going to base the pattern for the surcoat off of. So what do you need me to do now, my lovely tailor wife?
Well, the reason I hung these up here is so you can just do this.
She's going to crucify me, not hang me. Which is ironic because my brother's wife's name actually is Taylor. So
yeah. But I figured if I put armrests up, then that would help.
What she's implying is that I'm weak and old and can't support myself. In my,
oh, okay.
No, I'll do this. This is because I'm lazy. No, actually, my shoulders are bad, messed up. One got injured in the National Guard, and one got injured probably when Josh threw me on the ground with his body under my shoulder, and it popped backwards. So, rah! I had to scratch my nose, and it popped completely off. But no, I have messed up shoulders, so she's helping me not.
It also gives
re-dislocate
you
my shoulder.
the right tee.
Yes.
For me to work with.
It makes me into a giant dressmaker's dummy instead of a regular dummy. So.
Oh, that's too far back.
That's fine.
No,
I like to point out to everybody, this is how cute she is with not a speck of makeup on, or her hair done. She is just absolutely adorable. The cutest little dingo.
But what I'm doing is I'm trying to make a pattern on him, and I'm not.
So you're going to drape it?
Yes.
Using a medieval style called draping, where I can't hold it in place.
Oh, that's why I got pins.
Do not pin it to me. I don't want to bleed all over my armor again. Again.
Where am I? I'm going to try
So
that.
I had from a guy named Klaus the Red this beautiful hemp fabric and linen gambeson. It was this gorgeous oatmeal historical color. It was absolutely beautiful. I literally wore it for years till I wore through it in places. But at a Penzix War, we all got knocked down and fell over off of a bridge, and a fellow apparently did not have his helmet strapped correctly. It appeared to have severely bloodied his nose. I'm pretty sure it broke his nose. He got up behind me and bled all over my back. Well, I saw this little streak of blood running down the front of my breastplate, and as I went to resurrect, the marshals went, hold. I said, it's okay, it's not my blood. And I remember as I ran back onto the field hearing the guy go, "Oh my God, whose is it?" I didn't realize there was this giant, about 1.5 foot stain down the lovely oatmeal color of the gambeson down my back. So I apparently terrified them. This would have been in the early 30s, so 31, 32. I hope that guy's okay and that he wasn't seriously injured. I don't know who he was. But I haven't ever heard of any, serious life-ending injuries from that conflict. There's been some wrenched knees and some broken ribs and broken fingers, and I've had broken fingers and 2 broken toes at least. I don't know. I'm trying to hold it with my chin, and there have been a few heart attacks.
Down.
But
okay, no, I did good. Okay.
My first Pennsic war was 28 or 29, and we just passed 50 after skipping a few, and I'm about to hit 50 after not skipping a few.
Oh, that's next year.
It is next year, but it's coming fast. This last year went really, really quick, and I'm dreading the next one going even faster. So now my nose itches. Hold your finger out.
Things we do.
Okay, I am.
You.
Still didn't help. It's fine. Just get on with it. I will endure.
Okay.
I hope you guys are enjoying this because I feel like an absolute moron. Even more than normal. So on the sleeves, are you thinking of doing the little half sleeve like Olam did, or the little like almost an epaulette?
Well, what would you like? Because my original thought was with your base use, cut it down so you have base you can go out and over. And then actually my thought was to do sleeves at button.
And can we document that?
I'm not sure. You're the one who's been doing all the research.
I don't know. I don't know if we can document that. We can always add sleeves on later.
Okay.
So I think we should go with a simple line, basic line, because the artwork showing I think it's a condottieri laying on the ground taking a nap in his armor with that golden surcoat does have the little half circle sleeves that are even shorter than Edward's. So I kind of like that, especially if we could slap a heraldic charge on them. But his surcoat is entirely one color. It's gold. So very wealthy, but apparently doesn't have arms based on his armor and the crest. And he has the little ball on the top of his helmet. So there's stuff drawn in gold. So he's either got brasswork or gilded brasswork. And very nice harness. So he has money, but he doesn't have arms on his surcoat. We're going to be doing a couple of these, but the first one is going to be mostly blue.
This one's, well, what I'm working on right now is
the pattern.
So what I just did was took a little kind of half circle out over here, and that'll give me room to actually tuck it up underneath him, and then even it all out. I'm going to be doing the same thing if I don't trip over weights over here. I'm actually got the pins in where the arming point is.
Since the armor's handmade by a combination of myself, Dave Rylak, and Scott from Darkwood Armory. Dave is Rough from the Hammer Armory. He did, I believe, this breastplate. I've got 3 of this breastplate. My son has one that I'm pretty sure is from Darkwood. There's one that I made. There's a blue one that I just refurbished that I know I made. And then there's one he made, and I can't see this one, but I'm about 90% sure that this is the one he made.
Oh.
So
No,
I still can't see it. And then I did the shoulders and the base U's, and then Scott over at Darkwood Armory did the van braces and the elbows. And then the male shirt, I don't know who made it, I just know who I bought it from. And then the gambeson, again, is a Zupparello, available from revivalmilitaria.us. That's revivalmilitaria.us. We like money, you like medieval stuff. We should work something out. That's revivalmilitaria.us. We are really low on a bunch of stock, and some of our suppliers are really low on a bunch of stock, which is awesome. That means there's more people out there buying stuff than we have people making it, and that means the market's growing and there's more people enjoying the hobby. It just doesn't particularly personally help my bank account, but that's why I have a real job. So if you would like to have me not have to have a real job, go to revivalmilitaria.us, that's revivalmilitaria.us, and buy stuff that's listed as in stock. And being that I do work all the time, it might be a week or two before I can ship. We do try to ship at least once a week, but it doesn't always happen.
You could also get stuff from me.
Yeah, but you don't make gambesons.
No, but I do medieval accessories.
This is true. She does. She has scissors at my throat. She does hand-painted glass work based on historical models ranging from the Roman Empire all the way up to the Renaissance.
Actually up to modern, American.
Yeah, but that's not this audience. But
No.
if you like cute little kitschy stuff with gnomes on it, she does lots of gnomes. If you like obnoxious coffee mugs, she does obnoxious coffee mugs.
Gnomes.
Yes.
Gnomes.
Well, I said the medieval stuff. That's Venetian, right?
German.
German, okay.
13th, 14th century. They're not exactly sure which.
That's the problem. It's hard to date some of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like armor, where you can look at the armorer's mark and you know it was made in the lifetime of the armorer whose armorer's mark that is. Because he ain't making stuff when he's a little kid and he ain't making stuff when he's dead.
There's a few things like the Aldrovani workshops.
Yep.
That are very specific with style. Your armor.
Well, it's the same thing with like the Maximilian style armor. There's pieces that are only made during the reign of Emperor Maximilian. Some of the spring-loaded breastplates, they had clockmakers working with armors to make these spring-loaded exploding breastplates. Kind of, they fake exploded, but the guy from MythBusters just did a video on that. Whose name Adam Savage. He just did a video on the new exhibit they've got out at the Met, and those were only made during the reign of Emperor Maximilian, which I thought was really, really cool. That he was like, "Okay, guys, I want you to build an exploding breastplate." And so apparently the armorers went, "I don't know how to do that, but you know who does? My cousin, the clockmaker. I'm going to go talk to the guy who knows how to work with mechanization." And they combined the two skills in what is an absolute beautiful piece of martial technology, especially for the time. It's really, really cool. It's a bit out of my period, but it is very, very cool. And I wish I had that kind of game for armoring. I don't. I can sort of roll an edge. I can peen rivets. I can dish pretty good. I got okay proportions, but I am probably the worst armorer in the Valeria school. So, Valerius obviously being the best armor in the Valeria school. And then Brian and Chuck and Froberry are all way better than me. But I'm probably the worst. That being said, I'm not that bad compared to everybody else. But I'm kind of medium average. Whereas the rest of the people who got taught by Aaron are extremely talented. I had no talent, and he still taught me how to make passably okay armor. So he could probably teach a monkey, probably could teach a brain-damaged monkey how to make decent armor if he could teach me. So. And I'm running out of things to talk about as I'm standing here like a marionette.
Yes, you are.
I am.
But what I'm doing right now is I'm sizing my armholes. I'm going to take the pins out.
Why do I really want to sing the Ultron version of There Are No Strings on Me?
Do it.
I'm not going to.
Do it. But I am trying.
All wrapped up in strings. There was another guy. He was a nice guy. Had to kill him. You all. I'm not going to go, yeah, I'm going to do this. You all, but how could you be? You're all liars and killers. How could you be worthy? I kind of screwed it up, but you get the idea. You want to save the world, but you don't want it to change. The new man.
That's where I want to sing.
I was meant to be new. I was meant to be beautiful. The world was to look to me and see hope. Now all they'll see is the crushing weight of your failure. Could have been a great villain, but they had to kill him off in one movie. Of course, you can't really kill Ultron. He keeps coming back in the comics. He just downloads into something else, or somebody finds part of his programming, and he reassesses and reactivates.
Doesn't it imply that he didn't really die? Like they showed at the end?
Maybe.
Not wiggling.
But if anybody from Disney is listening, Doom. Put in Dr. Doom. Don't mess with him. Don't go a new take on Dr. Doom. Don't try to improve him for a modern audience. Just straight up, word for word, copy the dialogue out of the comics. He is the best villain in Marvel. Partly because Doom thinks he's a hero. And to his people, he is. But we don't want to see a new take on Doom for a new audience. We don't want to see an updating. We just want Doom.
So I'm trying to make sure it's just fitted nice and tight while I'm pinning before I cut more. All I just did was check the other side. I can't see what I'm doing. To make sure I'm not pulling the fabric too much from that before I start marking and such.
Oh, and don't make him CGI. That's a cop-out. We want the fully armored, glorious darkness, the nobility of villainy that is Dr. Victor Von Doom. This one should be a slam dunk. It should be almost impossible to screw up Dr. Doom. But they managed to do it twice. So.
I'd be surprised. It's Hollywood.
It is. So we've got pre-storyboarded, pre-costume designed, already dialogued stories that go back to the mid-60s. So let's ignore that completely and do something weird and just slap the name on it. Looking at you, 20th Century Fox. The costumes are too hard to make them photograph well, so we put everybody in black leather. Meanwhile, some 19-year-old who works at Wendy's builds a photorealistic, perfect copy of the comic book outfit in their mom's basement out of scraps they got from the craft store. And then wears it to Comic-Con. Looking at you, 20th Century Fox. Armoring is kind of a type of costuming and kind of a type of cosplay.
Especially at this point.
And I would say that historical reenactment is probably the original cosplay, is because you are cosplaying, dressing up as someone else in a different time, place, and location. So it's kind of the granddaddy of cosplay. So,
that side looks generally good.
as I stand here, tied to my ceiling, well, gently looped into my ceiling.
Like, you want to be tied to the ceiling?
No, I will freak out and break stuff. Do not do that.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. So I have a great respect for people who take a bunch of Warbler and foam and aluminum foil and poly cotton broadcloth and make an absolutely, textbook comic accurate costume of the Prowler or 1980s era Moon Knight or multiple versions of the Fantastic Four. Guys who take a bunch of foam and Warbler and build on a set of drywall stilts a fully articulated Ben Grimm or Space Marine or Hulkbuster armor or something like that. And then the movie studio with $500 million can't seem to make a costume that's not painted EVA foam. Not gonna name names, but Rings of Power.
We're gonna just airbrush some spandex. We didn't have the money.
You have the GDP of South America, the whole continent, and you can't go to Wormwood Creations and buy a plastic breastplate that looks better than your foam rubber breastplate.
So what I'm doing with my red marker here is I am taking and I'm marking where this seam on the side is going to sit.
Yes.
And that way, that way I can pull it back, stop wiggling.
Well, I'm stuck here, and it's making me a little irritable, which is why I'm griping about movies. Don't get me wrong, we love Lord of the Rings. We will sit there and just listen to Lord of the Rings from random points in the books, just to listen to the professor's prose. I will periodically just pull up the audio of Tolkien reading the Charge of the Rohirrim, or reading the speech that Aragorn gives outside the Black Gate. By all that is dear in this good earth, by all that you hold dear in this good earth, I bid you stand, men of the West. There, I can talk again.
Alright, now I pull this side nice and tight. I'm going to pull everything tight, and you can see how it's already getting kind of fitted. It's not looking kind of loose wavy.
Yes. And while we're trying to dress like Aragorn, in reality, we all really want to be Samwise.
At this point, I got a table in my way.
Yep.
So I'm going to pin the two pieces together, and then I'm going to take and trim along where the pins are.
I really hope you didn't forget to hit play or record.
I did hit record. I will check.
No, it's fine. I believe in you. I'm just worried.
Make sure it's still going. It's still going. We're only 31 minutes in.
Wow. If you're still watching this train wreck, why? Go home. Go be with your family. This is stupid.
It's Easter.
Get off of YouTube. It's Easter. Go to church. Go hear the word. Hear that he is risen. Don't stand in your basement wearing clothes that have been out of fashion for 600 years, getting poked with pens while your hands are tied to the ceiling. Unless it's your thing. And I don't want to kink shame, but I'm going to power through it. That's just weird. Don't do that. But no, stop watching YouTube. Go do something productive. We're actually doing something productive, but we're also trying to share it with our friends since we don't get to go to a lot of stuff anymore. For various, some good financial reasons and some dumb, people being dumb reasons. But we're not gonna go into that. They know who they are.
Yeah, I got it. Alright, so I'm gonna leave that there.
What I didn't expect is that my feet would start to hurt.
Oh, standing up.
I'm also starting to, I'm trying to hold my arms out, they're starting to cramp.
You can put that one down.
Well, I've kind of just let them go loose now.
Oh, so I put that up.
Remember that scene in Star Wars where C-3PO is hanging from the thing and you're working on it? I kind of feel like that right now. Or when RoboCop's getting reassembled, I kind of feel like that. Speaking of, if you want to watch a very lovely movie that had a great effects crew, watch the 2000s era remake of RoboCop. My brother did a bunch of work on that movie. And if you want to check out his channel, he's Hollywood Paranormal Detective.
Oh.
He goes and hunts for ghosts and Bigfoots and monsters and stuff. And I'm extremely upset and don't believe and cannot believe that he didn't invite me. So,
Bad Steven.
bad Steven. Literally hunt stuff. Literally. I mean, it's deer, but I used to hunt people for the city. It's the same thing, being a cop.
Okay.
Take me with you. I can look for evidence. I got lots of stuff. And if we find a chupacabra, you probably don't have the stuff to put it down. I probably do. We're getting kind of silly right now.
Yeah.
Little silly. And if we find a Bigfoot, I'm going to ask him, how do you keep everybody away from you? Because that sounds great. Just living in the woods, talking to bears, not having anybody bother you. That sounds awesome. He's got it down. Then I want to ask any of them, how is Elvis and have they seen him lately? See, my lovely assistant doesn't, and I really don't either, but she has no frame of reference for Elvis. So I was a little kid when Elvis died. She's so young, she didn't see Star Wars in the theaters. Any of them.
All right, hands down, move about.
Okay.
Hold on. Up. Oh, I didn't reach in that. Up.
I can't. My arm only goes this far up. This is what I'm talking about not having full range of movement in this breastplate with this mail shirt. So what I usually have to do is hold my arms up and put the breastplate on, and then that's why the mail shirt ends up too short.
Okay.
That's why the mail shirt ends up too
Okay,
short.
that looks like that's sitting better.
See, look how bound up that is.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Oh, yeah, that pin
Until
came
I
out,
drag it.
but okay, it's my side looking good.
I can't see it. And does it fit around the waist? Because it should pull tight across the breastplate, more or less.
That is why we do this.
It's a little baggy around the neck.
I
Up
can
in the
trim
top.
that down a little more.
Wow. Uh-oh, something popped. Well, part of it is that I'm just square, but it should pull in at the waist.
I've got it pretty tight.
Here, let me get a little closer where I can see. It also looks like it's darting weird under the arms.
The pin came out on this side.
Okay.
And part of that's the male.
Well, we'll trim it and tweak
I'll
it
trim
until,
the,
hey, here comes the baby who shouldn't be down here. But anyway, this is, hello.
I had that further down.
John, you need to go back upstairs. It looks like we're going to be done for a while.
All right. Well,
This is the start of the pattern. So get you an idea of how it's going to look. This is our 5-year-old John, who doesn't understand what stop and go upstairs means. But he is adorable.
I can't
He
see
tries
him.
to hit my punching bag. So I guess we're going to start trying to take it off and tweak it a little bit to even it out. And then try it back on a couple more times. But this is the start of the surcoat, and we're going to do another one as we get further along.
Alrighty, I'm going to. Something you always want to remember before you, when you do patterning, front.
You like holding a whistle.
Although with the just plain white surcoat, it's very white company.
We're gonna do.
To make it Hawkwood, I'd have to put the
lacing.
chevron with the shells, but no, we're not doing that yet. Not yet. She didn't tell me. Ooh, I can smell that. That smells terrible.
Lacing,
marker.
lacing, and then lacing on this side. So you want to mark where they're
I've
going.
also got to find that linden ear, and we got to take it in a little bit so I can use it, because I cannot wear another layer underneath with this on the body with this coat. I'll have to wear the thinner coat.
Yep.
So
Start removing pins and
okay.
you
Get
don't
the
want to
pins
leave them all
out.
pinned up. That would be a little difficult through the day.
Yes, it would be very
Hiya,
difficult.
boom, 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 boom.
There'd be
Hiya,
extremely
hiya, boom.
painful for you.
Hiya, that's right. Hiya.
John.
Hiya, that's right.
John, stop.
This kind of looks like a whistle.
It kind of does, but you're screaming. We're recording and you're being crazy.
Alright.
Okay, is it off?
Yeah, it's off.
Okay, let's turn this off. Hi, everybody. John's very cute, but he's extremely loud. I can't turn it off. There's no buttons.